So as promised, here we are with our morning ritual. I like to, so I keep my protein on me, right? Then I'll put the collagen protein in with the whey protein. So that cuts on the number of carbohydrates per, and it makes it more specific, like the trifold proteins that build up skin, tissue, really fascia. Like that's what we lose as we get older, you know. But getting in those micronutrients is like the most important thing, and that's why right now I will most likely get my vitamin supplements and try to kill two birds with one stone, as they say, but I'm not killing any birds. It's like most people, I've got to work. My life centers around work and make sure that my family has adequate resources, adequate things available to them. Like my son, he's pretty set on disability and a place to live. He's pushing 30 himself. My older son is 32, but 32, not 30 also. And my younger son is 28, and he's considered an adult with special needs. So the most important thing is self-care and self-regulation, which he doesn't. He's better, but he doesn't really have the capacity, the faculties like a typical person might. He jumps at opportunity with things that he thinks are opportunities. So he just recently, his grandmother just had him sign over $50,000 of money that this court awarded him, which is financial abuse. So we're going to be dealing with that in the future, and the way that she mitigated any problems that would come back at her, refract back at her. And it's ironic because her half brother stole from, he was the executor of her mother's will, the grandmother. I would say my mother, but I don't consider her my mother. I mean, this is dysfunctional US society 101. White trash. Absconded. This half brother absconded with $200,000 to $300,000 each. So it was at least like $150,000 that each person was going to get, and Robbie absconded with that money. So here we are at the charge station, waiting on the last 20 minutes. I wouldn't even be, I crank up the heat so high that I end up having to charge again in the morning. And I'm sipping on an Americano with heavy cream. I'll try to get my Starbucks orders too when I'm going through. But I put this Swerve, or mixed with erythritol allulose. I keep that mixed together in here. And it's time to get to work, and then this evening I'll see if I can do another 20 set workout. And what happens is you do those minimum workouts, and it's not a minimal workout, that's a workout. You know, you go in for about 45 minutes, half hour to 45 minutes, and you don't stop moving. You focus on 3 different muscle groups. Right now, what's going on with my training and why I wanted to get a few sessions in before I started doing any recording at all is that I'm just not, like, I took 2 weeks off training altogether, so I'm not like in the training zone mode right now, even still. I'm working my way into that. Ooh, that's sweet. I think I'm just gonna pour the rest of this into my water bottle here. Bear with me. The reason that I do what I do is because eventually this is what everybody's going to do. This is the form of socialism that we're going into. It's where the only way that we're going to be paid anything, and it's not going to be the state, it's going to be us essentially paying each other. It's going to be heavily reliant on a form of blockchain or cryptocurrency. Part and parcel to that, like a CBDC. And Big Brother will always want to watch us. And the only way that legally they can get away with that is if we sign our own rights away, which we've all done through Meta, Facebook, Amazon, 1,000 different ways. So I just pulled up and I saw this car with a license plate moniker that said Shiba Girl. And it made me remember a few years ago when I pulled money out prematurely, and that just weeks later would have transposed into $150,000 to $200,000 in Shiba. I had 2 billion Shiba Inu. I had going on 1 Bitcoin and more than a few Ethereum. I've held like 80,000 Doge, and yeah. When other people can't get control of their own faculties, so when I passed by this broken down Omen at my older son's house, that was my younger son's, that I bought him an Omen computer laptop, I go, there's a $10,000 computer right there, because that $1,000 that I spent was probably more like 15 grand. And I do believe in cryptocurrency. There will be a dip. There's always dips, and there's always troughs. There's always peaks. It's just the way the market is manipulates us. It's a manipulated market. It has to do with Fed bonds. If you ever look at the El Salvadorian president, he put all his money into Bitcoin, and the investment of Bitcoin as a form of capital and money, their money operating system. And he realized that if you just went along with the flux of the market value, when you look at it, it's like you got to train your people to be smart. This is time to leave it in. So you have to have a little bit of money. So during those good times, don't go splurge your Bitcoin, right? But we're not going to tax you either. So it's a very free system, a very free society, and that's what I'm talking about. Is you have this idea that from a capitalistic sense, that is socialism, but from its own sense, it's just free. It's a Proudhon-esque, mutualistic. Don't let the U.S. taint the way that you see things. So my goal is to get out of the U.S. and to do it as quickly as possible. But anyway, we're going to capture some good recordings, getting ever leaner, being on the road. I'm taking in less calories, I'm doing more, and thereby I'm getting lighter. Yesterday, with waste in my system, fully clothed, in the afternoon, I weighed 164 pounds. So that puts me at about 156. But anyway, this is telling me I need to charge this apparatus, this Insta360 Go 3. So I bid you farewell for now, and we'll be recording a little bit later on.